Many thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime News. I am Eileen Nsah. The Ministry of Defense has debunked the recent release from the Human Rights Watch accusing the Cameroon military of killings and other gruesome acts in the English-speaking regions of the country. This was made public in a release signed on August 24th by the Ministry of Defense spokesperson Cyril Serge Atongfak. Get details in this report with Cynthia Azanye.
The Ministry of Defense, via its spokesperson Atongfak Cyril Serge, has termed the recent reports of the Human Rights Watch on incidents that occurred in Dop, Bello, Chomba, and Misong in the northwest region of Cameroon as outrageously provocative. This was in a release signed on August 24th, 2022, after the Human Rights Watch report on 11th of August, saying between April 24th and June 12, 2022, Defense and Security Forces destroyed 12 houses and health centers in Chomba, executed 10 civilians, carried out arbitrary arrests of some 26 people, and caused the disappearance of 17 others in Dop, thereby violating human rights. Colonel Atongfak Cyril Serge has debunked this allegation, adding that procedures emanating from administrative and judicial investigations are ongoing in accordance with laws and regulations in force. Human Rights Watch is still accusing the government of maintaining impunity towards military men who allegedly committed abuses in the two restive English-speaking regions. But Navy Captain Cyril Serge Atongfak has reassured that the military will carry on operations in securing the population and re-emphasized that misconducts are always sanctioned.
Cameroon's Prime Minister Dr. Joseph Diangoute has inaugurated the structure hosting the office of the Autonomous Sinking Fund of Cameroon. The inauguration ceremony took place yesterday in Yaoundé, attended by members of the government and heads of diplomatic missions. Get more in this report with Von Quinta.
The magnificent structure, constructed on a surface area of 5,965 meters square, is made up of 12 floors, about 198 offices and commercial spaces and a car park with a capacity of 169 vehicles with headquarters in Yaoundé, was inaugurated by Prime Minister Dr. Joseph Diangoute Wednesday, August 24, 2022. Inaugurating the structure hosting the headquarters of the Autonomous Sinking Fund of Cameroon on behalf of President Paul Biya, Prime Minister Joseph Diangoute expressed satisfaction while reminding the personnel of the corporation the important role they play in the financial scheme of the country. Created by a presidential decree in August 1985, the Autonomous Sinking Fund is a public institution with mission to contribute to the implementation of the debt policy, to the financing of public projects and programs, as well as the management of the capital market, and lastly, as the permanent secretariat of the National Committee on Public Debt created in 2008. The inauguration ceremony was heavily attended by members of certain diplomatic missions and government ministers, including the Minister of Finance Louis Paul Mutazi, who doubles as the board chair of the Autonomous Sinking Fund. He urged personnel of the corporation to use it to carry out their task in building the country's finance system. Other peculiarities of the structure include 5 elevator shafts, an ultra-modern ventilation and air conditioning system, and solar panels that power certain appliances, thereby reducing electrical consumption.
This human interest story, domestic violence, is taking the trend lately as videos of popular Cameroonian rapper Tenor and his supposed Ivorian comedian fiancé Eunice were released on the social media. In what seems to have emanated from a long-term fight, the two have had the attention of many online critics who question the victimization of men in domestic violence scenarios. Nolinga now tells us more.
The social media has been laden with diverse reactions as Tenor and Eunice Zenon's relationship appears to have hit the rocks. Tenor, 24, and Eunice, 29, were seen in a video which has now triggered multiple online debates, engaged in fierce fighting after a verbal exchange. Many have since then expressed different concerns, including Tenor's manager, Tafiz, who said it was a demonstration of the torture the singer undergoes in the hands of his Ivorian lover.
Je ne veux pas discuter de ça. Je ne veux pas discuter avec toi. Je ne veux pas discuter. On n'a rien à se dire, en fait. Si je ne veux pas te parler, tu comprends que je ne veux pas.
However, contrary to many thoughts against the lady, a popular video had been released of the Ivorian icon praying for their union.
Qui essaie de s'approcher de mon mari avec des intentions qui ne t'honorent pas, des intentions de briser un foyer, de briser l'union, que toi-même tu as permis, Seigneur, que cette fille-là ne soit foudroyée au nom de Jésus. Non, dis Amen fort.
Amen fort.
Et que si mon mari même, il essaye même de le garder.
It should be recalled that Tenor, who is a popular Cameroonian singer, and Eunice, on the other hand, is an Ivorian comedian, have both remained silent physically on the matter. Meantime, some activists have taken on social media to condemn domestic violence against men.
Amen.
Amen.
Onto this other human interest story, a man called Ade Augustine has been found dead in Kumba, Meme Division Southwest region in his room on Tuesday, August 23, 2022. Augustine Ade, who lived alone, was an aspiring preacher of the gospel. Tamfo Siduan Dimbi reports from Kumba.
The odor produced by the decomposed body of Ade Augustine could not let my Media Prime TV cameras get closer when his lifeless body was discovered at the Starlight neighborhood in his room. He was found dead by neighbors who noticed he was missing in the scene for about 4 days after complaining that he was not feeling too healthy, plus the odor that emanated from his room.
Not be well for some time, they don't stay for long and see.
Come for here, we be trist for you, and he wanted they can't promise to London.
Ade Augustine was a young man with aspirations to study and preach the Bible.
I'm not really like, no, church.
Security forces and the administration of Kumba 2 subdivision went to the scene to get abreast with the situation. The body was immediately buried, even though his family members were not yet identified at press time.
Gendarmerie officers from the Mungo North Gendarmerie Company have apprehended 13 suspected bandits. The bandits were presented to the public on August 23, 2022 in the presence of the Divisional Officer of Mungo, Yves Bertrand Noel Njana, before sent to the military tribunal in Douala. Catherine Kongwe tells us more.
13 suspected armed bandits have been apprehended during an operation conducted by the elements of the Mungo North Gendarmerie Company. The bandits were presented to the public on August 23, 2022, in the presence of the Senior Divisional Officer of Mungo Division, Littoral Region, before being sent to the military tribunal in Douala to answer their crimes.
Il s'agit d'un gang de bandits
their
de grand
arrest
chemin
came following series of complaints filed by the population, who said were often aggressed at gunpoint, allegedly by members of the dismantled criminal gang.
On retrouve les auteurs de ceux qui avaient brûlé un camp militaire à Oup.
It began with the arrest of the suspected gang captain, Fone Francis Ngwa, 34 years old, in Boath the Serge neighborhood in the town of Douala. His interrogation enabled the gendarmes to get hold of his accomplices in the other towns. Investigations opened led to the arrest of some of the suspects in Nsah and others in Douala Ruri Division, as well as in Banjul West Region. Thanks to the collaboration of various gendarmeries units that help us to get in hold of these suspects. Some of the suspects were identified as wanted criminals who attacked the naval base in Douala, injuring military men on duty. The suspects, aged between 22 and 42, were in possession of arms, ammunition, knives, cutlasses, 3 passports, 12 mobile telephones, 6 birth certificates, which they use in attacking families in and out of the Mungo division.
Some 12 internally displaced persons in Bonaberi, Douala, in Cameroon's economic capital, have received some foodstuff and 2 scholarships from members of the House of Commons. Get more in this report with Nicole Tako.
Members of the House of Commons on My Media Prime Television have donated some basic foodstuffs to 12 internally displaced persons in Bonaberi, Douala, Cameroon's economic capital, and 2 scholarships for the upcoming 2022-2023 academic year. The aim of this humanitarian gesture is to give hope to these IDPs and make them know that they are God's covenant children.
We came here to give some food items, a couple of bags of rice and spaghetti and Maggi cube to some internally displaced persons here in Bonaberi. We want to thank those who supported this initiative from House of Commons. We want to thank all those who contributed, and want to thank Mr. Kumionat, Mr. Tambe Bryan, the CEO of My Media Prime Television, BT Media Network. So I've given us the opportunity to come here and also share some food items to internally displaced. We also give scholarship to 2 children for this academic year, and also we intend to give out some exercise books. So I want to thank you all who contributed, and we pray that God should continue to bless you.
This comes at a period where thousands of internally displaced persons are finding it difficult to feed and provide for themselves, especially with the increase in the prices of basic commodities, and also during these rainy seasons where some businesses are not doing well.
But if you think like now, this world for just be a simple place, but people have complicated life. To my greatest surprise, when this war issue began, when you want to see some buildings the way people they don't put them, it shows the people they be stock money, they be bank money, but they don't have in mind that they can turn and help their brothers and sisters. So let's not take the money, then think about it, and go say God will return it to you 100-fold, and that you should continue with this year ways so that others should copy.
With songs and praises, the internally displaced persons gave a word of thanks to the House of Commons teams for their generosity and support.
I just want to thank you for this step we will not take up, for thinking about me all day for this one. God will return to you for 100-fold for your generosity. When my leader told me about this, I was as if I should not come. But what I have acquired from you people, just the speech that you have made here, it is more than everything. This food that you are calling it small like that, we will eat it and we will become very strong. We don't over-suffer for Douala. We don't abandon houses that we were part of the beginning for you. We pay house rents here. We are working here in Douala like jackass. When it is 4 o'clock, our eyes and we are already up, because you have to go out and strive to make it so that at the end of the day you have to eat.
In the days ahead, the House of Commons teams will donate school bags, school books, pens, and other school items to other internally displaced persons.
In a related development, the Manu Women's Association MOWA USA Incorporated has shown love to the Manu community by donating medical equipment and supplies to the Mamfe District Hospital, which was brought down in flames by unknown gunmen. The donations were made recently in the presence of the Senior Divisional Officer of Manu. Joy Ngon completes that story.
Wednesday, June 8, 2022, the Mamfe District Hospital was set ablaze by unidentified gunmen, consuming 9 out of 12 buildings in the hospital, among other material losses. Following the fire incident, urgent measures are being taken by the government and other associations of goodwill to ensure the continuity of health services in the hospital. The Manu Women's Association, MOWA USA Incorporated, is one of the associations that have listened and come to the aid of the Manu people.
On Friday, August 12, representatives of the MOA USA Incorporated in the Manu division handed medical equipment and supplies, including 20 hospital beds, 20 hospital mattresses, 5 wheelchairs, 10 stethoscopes, 5 electronic BP machines, and a host of others.
I'm handing over this medical equipment on behalf of MOA USA Incorporated to the General District Medical Officer of Manfi.
The equipment were handed to the Manfi District Hospital through the Chief of Center, who expressed his level of satisfaction and gratitude to the Manu Women's Association, MOA USA, for their support during this period of great loss to the health sector of the division, while pleading for more support.
Thank you, MOA USA Incorporated, for this generous gift that they gave us. In fact, what they came just in time, like a stitch in time saves 9. So we're very, very happy. Like I said before, we were expecting more from you. Don't go to sleep. Please, we need more of these gestures. Thank you again. Thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you. Thank you so much.
The kind-hearted gesture was welcomed by the Manu chapter president, Mami Takum Juan, the paramount chief of Manu, Chief Dr. Oben Godson, and other administrative authorities like the senior divisional officer for Manu present during the event. The Manu Women's Association, MOA, is made up of Manu women by birth or marriage who have as objective to take care of the girl child, education, and community interest.
Jangong reporting. The Kokobuma Women Association has been created in Kumba with the objective to promote the empowerment of girls and women, as well as the development of Kokobuma, a locality in Konye subdivision. Tamfo Sidwandimbi once again reports from Kumba.
Women from Kokoboma living in Kumba have come together under the umbrella, the Great Kokoboma Women Association, to join forces with other stakeholders and work for the interest of the population of Kokoboma, a Bafo village situated along the Kumba-Manfe Road in Konye subdivision. Over the weekend, they converged at the Kumba 1 Subdivisional Council with a mission to identify young women without trades and empower them. Organize periodic programs called Women Corner, where girls will be drilled on various socio-economic topics, empower young women to road trainings in various economic activities, and to make Kokoboma a center for economic attraction within the Konye subdivision. On the spot, the women raised the sum of 50,000 francs CFA to support the Kokoboma FC as they take part in the 2022 Mukete Cup tournament. Talking to the media, Madame Epie Ekale leader Dibo explained that the creation of the Kokoboma Women Association is pregnant with a development drive which will go a long way to make the village great again.
Our fathers, they are thinking of solar system we can support. So all of this is development for the village and the community. But the first thing is think of developing yourself before you think of developing.
As the Kokoboma women take up the drive for development, much is expected from other elites of the village to contribute to the distribution of potable drinking water, lobby for the supply of electricity, and provision of education and health facilities in the area.
Let's now talk health and the environment. The use of plastic products has become part of daily lifestyle. However, these plastics, if not properly managed, may lead to multiple health complications such as indigestion, inhalation of large amounts of both cardiovascular diseases, among other health complications, not leaving out the dangers plastics have on their environment. Bokengo Worthy talked with an environmentalist and compiled the following report.
Accounting for many different health hazards, including liver dysfunction, cancers, skin diseases, lung problems, gastrointestinal disorder, birth defect, breathing difficulty, respiratory and reproductive problems, headaches, Parkinson's disease, vision problems, autoimmune diseases, dizziness, and many more, plastic pollution has become one of the most pressing environmental issues, killing our habitat, wildlife, and home.
Our world is swamped by harmful plastic waste. Every year, more than 8 million tons end up in the oceans. Microplastics in the seas now outnumber stars in our galaxy.
According to the United Nations Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres, plastic waste pollution may hinder the progress of Sustainable Development Goal 14 by 2050 if the daily dumping of plastics around our neighborhood keeps increasing.
If present trends continue, by 2050, our oceans will have more plastic than fish.
Worth mentioning is the fact that plastic products contain over 117 chemicals used in production. These chemicals over time wear out into small particles that become harmful when they enter our body. For safety purposes, all is encouraged to
reject single-use plastic. Refuse what you can't reuse. Together we can chart a path to a cleaner, greener world.
Saving our environment, protecting our health, and safeguarding nature depends on the proper waste management of each and all.
Now onto sports. The swimming discipline remains the most remote in the Northwest region. Hope Lee Andochi, promoter of the swimming discipline in the region, concluded a 2-month swimming initiative in Bamenda with over 150 children aged between 3 years and 17 taking part. The kids were encouraged with didactic materials to prepare for back to school come September 5. Charles Kebwa now reports from Bamenda.
Kids who've spent their holidays enjoying leisure activities organized in different leisure sites in Bamenda have expressed satisfaction in this year's leisure, whose activities will accompany them back to school come September 5, 2022. One of the leisure sites, the Ayaba Swimming Pool Holiday Leisure for Kids, whose activities had been encouraging.
Now it became useful for them. We are just from Olympic, Islamic game that we are going to host in 2025. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. Let the children be aware of sport discipline.
An avenue also to keep children safe during holiday. Learn different sports disciplines such as swimming, music, dancing, table tennis, basketball, and volleyball. Hope Lee Adonchi, promoter of holiday sports discipline, concludes the swimming initiative in Bamenda with 150 children aged between 3 years and 17 years trained.
They have all exhibited what they have learned. As concerns swimming, I'm 100% sure that they are going back as swimmers. As concerns dancing, they have learned dancing skills that they can feel free to dance wherever they find themselves. They also exhibited piano. We saw how a kid of 5 years could play and people could sing, how exciting it was. We also saw a bit of table tennis and other activities, so that going back fully loaded as far as sport is concerned.
The organizer, Hope Lee Adonchi, expressed fear next year's edition might not hold because of lack of sponsor.
The list that the parents give cannot even sustain the water. You know, this water costs money, everything costs money, so it needs to be paid. So it's really difficult for us, and we think next year this program might not hold. We are sincere about it.
While appeal partners come ensure sustainability, the 150 kids were encouraged with didactic school materials prepared back to school. Swimming discipline, it should be noted, remains the most remote promote sports discipline in the Northwest region.
Basketball reported there. Now, in more sports news, partners and supporters of Victoria United Football Club Limbe are currently mobilizing the population of the Southwest region to turn out massively and support Victoria United of Limbe ahead of the National Interpose tournament billed for September 1st, 2022. Get more right ahead.
Over 20 million francs CFA has been raised by partners and supporters of Victoria United to permit the team grab a ticket for the Elite 2 in the National Interpose tournament, which has been programmed for Limbe beginning September 1st, 2022. Addressing football lovers in the city of Limbe during a fundraising gala, the senior divisional officer for FACO, Mr. Chaibu, called on the population of Limbe and those of a FACO division at large to harness their resources to ensure that Victoria United qualifies during the competition.
He used the occasion to call on the population to turn out massively during the competition and ensure that the tournament records a huge success never heard in the history of Interpose. On his part, the former national president of Fecafoot, Henry Njalakwan Jr., called on the football-loving population of the Southwest region to rally behind Victoria United, the flag bearers of the region, and grab the opportunity which is knocking at their door.
I think that the population of Southwest and Limbe in particular knows exactly what to do. We have been clamoring for a return to elite football for years now. The opportunity is right before us. Right at our doorsteps, in our own city, we all have the obligation of pushing this team right across the finish line. The championship, the regional championship, was well attended all year round. The final in particular was massively attended, and I think if we show this same turnout during the games of Victoria United across the competition, to enter us 5 games, I think we can comfortably make it 5 victories out of 5.
Ebong McLeans is an economic operator and supporter of Victoria United. He says the town of Limbe is ready not only to welcome visitors, but to show to the nation that Limbe is a town of friendship and many opportunities.
The important thing here is that people will now understand that things are getting back to normal. The security situation is changing. That's the first message. We send the message that things are getting back to normal. People should come visit Limbe, and people should believe in Limbe. You can see from our interpreters, we're a loving city. We're the town of friendship, don't forget. We're the town of friendship, and we must lead by example. With the new vibrant, you can see the vibrant president, the vibrant city mayor. It's about time, like I said. I'll keep going back there that we will do everything possible. We're expecting visitors. I think it will be the best Interpol that you've ever seen. It's going to be good. I promise you.
The fundraising equally saw the distribution of the club's gadgets, with supporters taking individual and collective engagements to move the club to the next level. The SDO declared the fundraising opened and called on all the stakeholders to send in their own support before the competition kickstarts. That concludes today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime Television. The news was gathered and coordinated by Faith Tata. I have been Eileen Nsah for presentation, and the news was produced by Ewane Ella. Huge thanks for viewing once again. Have a blessed night, but do stay tuned to My Media Prime Television, The African Eye. Coming up next is Prime Hour with Leonard and his panelists. Bye for now.